Time for the first dance.
Is there a restroom? Do you have a restroom?
You have to ask him.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I think we have a.
So I want to welcome everyone to our live stream. And I'm Trish Triumpho Sullivan with Downtown Book and Sound. And we're here tonight with our special guest, actually one of two special guests, Jafe Danbury, a local author.
Thank you, Trish. I'm so happy to be here. This is really exciting. And this is my third time here. So thank you. Times three. Thank you, everybody.
Well, welcome back. It's pretty exciting that your third book, and we're here celebrating Jafe Danbury's third novel, which is a thriller called X. Yeah, exactly. And apparently, it's part of a series now. So we're there with the series.
Indeed.
So thank you all online for joining us, and Jafe is going to talk a little bit about his book. I want to ask first, though, first of all, where are you from originally?
I'm from the Bay Area. I grew up in Sunnyvale and San Jose, and then after a stint in the Navy, went to film school in Southern California, and ended up coming back up here. So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. And then what inspired you to start writing? Like what was the impetus that really got you going with this on this journey?
That's a really good question, and I think I have a pretty good answer for that. The short answer is life experience. I was working in Hollywood for a couple of decades, doing camera work and directing TV shows and movies and what have you, and had a pretty successful thing going. And about midpoint in that career, I got married, and after a short period of time, the wheels started coming off in the relationship. She showed her true colors. She was a very unhealthy person and very violent and destructive. So I literally had to escape with the clothes on my back in the middle of the night and go underground for about 3 years because she was stalking me across state lines and stuff. So that's the long answer to. I wrote this book, The Other Cheek. It's very autobiographical. It's based on my Hollywood experience and, more importantly, the relationship I escaped. And I came up here and people were telling me, you need to write a book about what you went through. I was like, nah, no one's ever going to want to read that. But I banged it out just for catharsis reasons, if nothing else. And it ended up winning a Best First Novel Indie Book Award, which surprised me a lot. So then I figured, okay, I'm a writer. So that's the long answer to your question. That's what got me going.
Well, thank you for that, because I think that, the best writers write about what they know. So a good first novel is something that you've experienced. So having that experience was maybe not a good thing, but a way to share with other people how you dealt with it and how it changed your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. And there's an old saying, you can't have a testimony without the test. And this was a very good test. And
it was a good test.
I think I passed. I've got with time, I've got some separation from it. I've healed from it. I've processed it. And as a result, I think I'm stronger for it. And it sounds weird to say, but I appreciate the lesson I got from it, even though it was a tough one.
And now you're on book, and now you're on book number 3. So you have Leaving Phoenix, which was your second book,
mm-hmm.
And now you have X, and it's a thriller. And what I'd like to ask is if you would mind reading a short passage from your book,
okay,
so that the audience that's out in internet world here can have an idea of of the book, and also the people local here that are gathered, which we have quite a nice crowd, can hear a short little bit of you reading, and then we'll call it and then we'll close out this portion, and we'll go on to a different one with our next author, Nick Oliveri. Yes, but so right now we're still on Jafe Danbury. So Jafe, do you have a short passage you can read for us tonight?
I could do one from Leaving Phoenix, or I could do one from X.
Let's
X
do one
is
from
X is a
X,
sequel to Leaving Phoenix.
This is your most recent, so
Yeah.
let's do
Okay.
a quick one from that. I'll
All
hold
right.
the mic for you while you.
Forgive me in advance if there's a cuss word in there. There might be a couple of them in there.
Well,
but
we're all adults here. I think
Okay.
we can handle a
All
cuss word or two.
So I'll read a couple of paragraphs here.
Don't tell me one.
From X, which is a story of a family that has to deal with their 6-year-old daughter being kidnapped and the upheaval and the emotional turmoil that come from that. And the story is set against the backdrop of human trafficking. So it's a dark theme, but I handled it very sensitively, and I made sure that it was sustainable and not too uncomfortable for readers. So I threw some humor in there where I could, either through character quirks or what have you. And they also, all my books have great soundtracks, by the way. So if you like that kind of thing. So anyway, I'll read this passage here. The two kidnappers, they're German siblings. One's named Dieter, and he's a little guy, and his sibling is like a Sasquatch of a guy named Willie. So here we go. The driver's name was Dieter. It was a strong 2-syllable German name. Thus, it was pronounced with the long E sound. He freaking hated it when somebody read his name for the first time and put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, or worse, asked if he was committed to dieting. Dieter was on the short side at 5'6" and had a bit of a Napoleon complex, especially around his sequoia of a younger brother, the dim bulb in the fire in the with the orange fingers sitting next to him. The long drive gave Dieter plenty of time to replay their escape in his head. He was confident they hadn't made any mistakes. Their exodus had been easy. He dumped the stolen van in the alley behind the Circle K, a couple of blocks from the market, made the switcheroo to their waiting getaway vehicle, transferring only the precious human cargo, as the beanbags and inflatable mattress had fulfilled their mission in preventing any bruises to the fruit during the abduction. And aside from when he'd been texting, he'd worn gloves, so prints weren't a concern. So they're driving out of Arizona on their way through Utah, on their way to Idaho, where they're going to fly this child to a client in another state. So anyway, this
does sound pretty dark.
It is pitch dark, but I always shine a lot of light into the corners. So all these books may have dark themes, but they are all very redemptive stories. And so they have a good follow through, and I don't subject you to too much. It's a backdrop. There's nothing graphic. There's nothing horrible. But anyway, people have been responding to them well. So.
Well, Jafe, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. This has been wonderful to have you here. It's exciting that you're on your 3rd book and that we were here for your first one. So we've made it through all this time to welcome you back for number 3. I have to say, I would recommend this book, definitely. Thank you for coming and joining us tonight. And thank you to our audience on the out in the ether throughout the world. Whoever's watching, thank you for being here. I'm Trish Triumph-O'Sullivan at Downtown Book and Sound in beautiful, historic, gorgeous downtown Salinas, California, with Jafe Danbury, our amazing local author of The Other Cheek, an award-winning book, Leaving Phoenix, Another book that's absolutely amazing. I'm surprised it hasn't won an award.
It's won a few, actually.
Oh, it's won. Okay, I'm sorry. It's won several awards, but please excuse me. I'm misinformed or
They're just not on
ill-informed.
the, they're not on the
They're
cover.
just not on the cover yet. Okay, and then finally we have X, a thriller, and one that I think you're going to want to read. So Jay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
We will
Thank
see you
everybody.
next time.
Okay.
Mic drop. So we're going to end this session, and thank you guys all.